Coming up on OU Nightly, we have another chance for severe weather. I'm going to have that full breakdown in your forecast.
And remembering a football icon, we look back on O.J. Simpson's life, plus a war of words in Arizona, the latest on the abortion debate. This is OU Nightly.
Hello, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Darian Curry. We'll begin with a look at our forecast because, of course, we have to talk about allergy season.
Let's get right over to OU Nightly meteorologist Lauren Brand. Lauren, what do you have for us?
Thanks, ladies. Yeah, we've had a pretty breezy day across OU and the Norman campus here. We've been gusting around 27 degrees currently, but we actually saw some wind gusts upwards of 38 miles an hour. So it's been a pretty breezy day, but we've been affected by those allergies. Braden Seo, our OU Nightly meteorologist, is outside on the South Oval. Braden, what can you tell us about those allergies?
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, I'm out here on the South Oval, and it is a beautiful day other than some breezy conditions. You can see behind me, OU Landscaping has been working on planting those mums, so it's gorgeous out here on the South Oval, and you would think that everything would be fine, but for you allergy sufferers, that's not the case. Looking at that allergy index, we've got tree pollen in that very high category, as well as grass in the medium category. So for you allergy sufferers out there, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to get better anytime soon. I'm going to send it back to you in the studio. Lauren?
Thanks, Braden. We are going to be talking more about those temperature changes, that weekend warm-up, and I'm going to be talking more about that severe weather that's on the way.
Thanks, Lauren. Former NFL running back, movie star, and infamous cultural icon O.J. Simpson has died after a battle with cancer. He was 76. CNN's Stephanie Elam has the latest.
O.J. Simpson soared to fame as number 32 for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry for all of it.
And plummeted to infamy as inmate number 1027820 in the Nevada Department of Corrections. In between, Simpson led a life filled with more surreal drama than all of his various film and TV projects combined.
O.J., are you a suspect? Come on.
Mass media experts say Simpson's sensational televised low-speed chase,
I have O.J. in the car.
arrest and murder trial
Doesn't fit, you must acquit.
stand as the first reality show, and perhaps the greatest three-ring television phenomenon ever. At one point, the world heard O.J. Simpson's ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, say,
I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit. Wait a minute.
Then later, Simpson was charged with the horrific murders by knife of Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman.
Ron and Nicole were butchered.
The trial made lawyers and even witnesses household names.
Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
When the jury freed Simpson, celebration erupted in parts of Los Angeles. But Simpson would never recapture his idol status. Simpson first sprinted into the national spotlight as the Heisman Trophy-winning running back at the University of Southern California. Then 11 spectacular years with the NFL vaulted him to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Simpson cashed in on the popularity, becoming a pitchman for Hertz and an actor, becoming well known for the Naked Gun movies.
O.J. Simpson, as you've never seen him before.
Simpson played a lawman on screen and ran into trouble with the courts off-screen. He lost the multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit brought by the families of his ex-wife and Ron Goldman, then moved to Florida. In 2000, Simpson was accused of assault in a road rage incident in Miami. He was found not guilty. In 2005, he was found guilty and fined for stealing satellite television. Then in 2007 in Las Vegas, police arrested him on several felony charges, including kidnapping and armed robbery. In that case, Simpson and armed accomplices raided a hotel room in what he called an attempt to just get back some of his stolen belongings.
And I didn't know I was doing anything illegal. I thought I was confronting friends and retrieving my property.
The Nevada jury never bought his story and instead sent him to prison. He was released on parole 9 years later in the dead of night with no fanfare and no bright future. Just the distinction of arguably the greatest rise and fall in pop culture history.
Simpson died in his home in Las Vegas, and his family has asked for privacy during this time.
Tensions rise in the Middle East after an airstrike that could complicate ongoing negotiations. OU Nightly's Savannah Simmons has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
A Hamas senior political leader confirms his 3 sons and 4 grandchildren were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza Wednesday. The airstrike was amid fresh efforts in Cairo to bring a temporary halt to months of fighting. The Hamas leader stated that the killing of sons of leaders would only make Hamas, quote, more steadfast in our principles and adherence to our land.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Arizona House of Representatives erupted into chaos last night after Republicans blocked the effort to repeal a near-total abortion ban in the state. This comes after the Arizona Supreme Court decided to keep the law from 1864, which only allows abortions if the mother's life is in jeopardy. President Joe Biden is hosting the first ever leader summit between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. This summit, which is already underway, attempts to draw Pacific allies closer as U.S. tensions rise with China and North Korea. Biden spoke with Japan's prime minister, claiming the U.S.-Japan alliance is, quote, stronger than it's ever been. And the former interpreter of baseball star Shohei Ohtani was charged with federal bank fraud after allegedly stealing more than $16 million to cover gambling debts. Melina, Darian.
Thanks, Savannah. On Capitol Hill today, House leaders are priming a new bill to reauthorize the American government's spying powers. Senior political reporter Noah Mack is live in the studio with details. Noah.
Well, Melina, the bill would expand the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, for 2 years. The provision allows the American government to spy on foreign targets. And if Americans are in contact with these targets, acquiring those communications is also protected under this bill. This comes as 19 House Republicans blocked a previous bill yesterday that would have extended FISA to 5 years. This bill will also offer up a vote to add a warrant requirement to the law, something those 19 strays are pushing for. And in other news, one of Oklahoma's representatives just became the first Native American to chair one of the most influential committees in the House. Tom Cole, who represents us here in Norman, was elected to chairman of the House Appropriations Committee. Cole is a member of the Chickasaw Nation. Melina, Darian.
Thanks, Noah. The second leading cause of death in college athletes.
What you should know after the break.
And a childhood favorite may no longer be available for school lunches.
What it is and why it's happening, coming up.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe. And it's the best way to protect that legacy.
Ah, those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Oh,
great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Research shows suicide rates continue to soar with all ages in the U.S. But there is one group with an unexpected rise. OU Nightly's Julia Roberts has the details of that study and more in HealthBeat.
Yes, Darian, a new study shows that in just 2 decades, the suicide rate for college athletes has doubled. But researchers can't find the answers on why. Researchers did note that it is common with those of higher fame in that it could be related to the stress of being in the light and more prone to outside criticism on social media. Male cross-country athletes saw the highest rate of suicide. Mammograms are the best way to find breast cancer sooner, but new study shows women are facing roadblocks in getting that screening. The CDC found that women are less likely to get a mammogram if they had more health-related social needs. The cost of accessing health care was the biggest barrier. Others include food insecurity and lack of transportation. A consumer watchdog group is petitioning to the USDA to keep Lunchables out of school cafeterias because of excessive amounts of salt. According to Consumer Reports, the lunch kits sold at schools have more sodium than the ones sold in stores. And that's not all. The group reports that the kit can contain dangerous chemicals like lead and metal, leading to health problems in the future. And a new study reveals that Americans between the ages of 12 and 26, also known as Gen Zers, are the least happiest of all groups, saying they are having a harder time than previous generations at their age. Darian, Melina.
Thanks, Julia. From raining threes to raining dollar bills.
Find out more about the way student athletes are making money off the field. Up next.
And it's springtime in Oklahoma, so you know what that means. We have another risk of severe weather coming up, and I'm going to have that full breakdown in your full forecast coming up.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Is it time yet? It's time. Fun starting time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on this Thursday evening. We've had a pretty lovely day, clear blue skies ahead of us, and we're sitting around 68 degrees right now, so it has been a pretty lovely day, other than those wind gusts, which have been gusting to upwards of 30 miles an hour, even stronger at times. So it's been a pretty gusty day with especially those northerly winds. They bring in a little bit more of some cooler air, and that won't stay like that, though. We will be warming up as we go on into the weekend. This is our temperature outlook for April 17th to the 21st. So we have a higher probability of seeing some above average temperatures for here in Oklahoma, specifically for southeastern Oklahoma. Now for your weekend outlook, Saturday, we're going to be getting up into those 80s, so it will be a pretty warm weekend ahead of us. We should have pretty clear skies. We will see a cloud or two, but it will be warm and breezy as we go on throughout the day. Now Sunday, we do have a risk for some fire danger as well as Saturday too, but we will be warming up to around 89 degrees. So pushing that 90-degree mark, it will be definitely a warm weekend ahead of us. But for this severe weather risk setup that we have, this is going to be for Monday. Now we do have, this is going to be for Friday, 7 a.m. But as we move on through, we do have a chance of seeing a dry line that's going to be moving through the area, and this will also help to bring in some moisture down from the Gulf Coast as well, which will definitely set up that severe risk for us here. So this is going to be Sunday at 4 p.m. That moisture will be set in place by that time, and that dry line will start to appear then. Now this is going to be Monday 4 p.m. where we could start to see right along that dry line is where we're going to start to see some of those storms start to pop up and then roll through the metro and Oklahoma. Now we're still unsure on those hazards, but we will be making you aware of that, especially as we get closer to that date. Now this is going to be that severe weather outlook, so we are in an enhanced risk for Norman and the OU campus specifically. So this is going to be a level 3 out of 5 in terms of the severe weather risk that we could see. Now for those lows tonight, we will be jumping down into those 40s. So not as cold as we have been, but still definitely on the chillier side. Now for Friday, we will be jumping into those upper 70s, so a little bit warmer than what we saw today, and that trend will continue, especially as we go on into the weekend. Now for your 7-day forecast, Friday, we're going to have clear skies, jumping up into those upper 70s, continuing that trend into Saturday and Sunday. Monday is going to be that severe weather risk, which again, we will be updating you more on that, especially as we go on into the weekend. We will probably have some severe storm coverage with that. So we will be keeping everybody updated with that, and those 80s will continue throughout the week.
Well, I'm so happy to have some warmer weather this weekend for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. As Oklahoma transitions into the SEC, NIL funds are becoming a huge part of the college athletics landscape. CNN's Michael Yoshida has the details.
Hi, it's Caitlin. I'm so excited to be partnering with H&R Block to
college athletes.
When the odds get beaten, the chicken fingers get eaten, baby.
Capitalizing on endorsement deals.
My name is Olivia Miles. I'm dropping my t-shirt. It's become a really big part of the game. There's a lot more added pressures, I'd say, to get your business going, to get an agent, to build your brand.
They're also cashing in on their name, image, and likeness from NIL collectives, operating independent of schools. These pool funds from boosters and other sources.
It's basically like negotiating with a general manager in the NFL or NBA, but at the college level. And obviously, the higher the prospect, the more the money.
College football is the biggest NIL sport. Every school in the Southeastern Conference or SEC has at least one NIL collective.
It's helpful for me to make my name pop out and come out more.
Opportunities continue to expand. New company Nilly pays student athletes up front for their NIL rights and pairs them with a financial advisor.
If a kid is able to learn about money, to invest properly, that goes a long way.
And allows fans to invest in the athletes.
We believe that this is a really good deal for all parties.
Nilly earns revenue from the athletes' NIL rights and shares it with investors and the athletes, who receive a majority of the profit.
We didn't have this 21 years ago when I came out of high school and had to go to the pros because of my financial situation. It's time for the athletes to be able to control their own destiny.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
According to On3.com, here at OU, Jackson Arnold brings the most money in NIL profits on campus. Now, after a Red River run, OU softball is swinging back into conference play this weekend.
That's right. OU Nightly's Emily LeBeth has more in sports.
A former Sooner returned to the NBA court last night after missing 23 games. I'll let you know who it is and how he played next in sports.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, I'm Emily Labeth, and it's time for sports. The last time OU softball was in Norman, they were #1 in the nation and undefeated in conference play. But now that they're ranked #2 and coming off a conference series loss, the Queens of the Diamond want their crown back. The Sooners return to Loves Field tonight to face BYU in their first Big 12 meeting. In their last series against Texas, OU only played at 6 runs. Look for Jada Coleman and Tiara Jennings to pick these Sooner bats up. Coleman is on a 26-game on-base streak, and Jennings is leading the Big 12 in 4 offensive categories. OU football is gaining momentum on the recruiting trail, picking up a 4-star commitment today. Maryland defensive lineman Trent Wilson chose OU over Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Penn State. Wilson is the 13th commit for the Sooner class of 2025 and is listed as a top 10 defensive lineman by On3. And it just means more for OU men's and women's basketball. A new season and a new conference means new facility upgrades. Both teams renovated their suites, locker rooms, team lounges, meeting spaces, and recovery areas. And the men's area includes a spot that highlights former Sooners who went to the NBA. The Masters are not the only golf action you can see this weekend. OU men's golf closes out their regular season tomorrow and Saturday in the Thunderbird Tournament in Arizona, making this their final showing before the Big 12 championship. And the Thunder took on a weak Spurs roster last night that was missing 4 key players. SGA was back like he never left, getting this spin and score bucket on his way to a 26-point night. Josh Giddey also had a night, dropping 20 and grabbing 12 boards for a double-double. Thunder win convincingly by 38 points, and Giddey is proud of his team's approach and execution.
The games like that are tough to play in when a team, they're not really playing for anything. They're loose. They're free. Guys playing confidently. Those type of games are difficult to play in. And I thought from the jump we came out with the right mindset, not worrying who the opponent was. Executed the game plan defensively. I thought we locked in. We held them to 11 in the first quarter.
Moving east to Atlanta, making his return to the court from injury last night was Trae Young. Ice Trae was not cooled last night. He shot a perfect 5 for 5 from the field and put up 14 points and 11 assists for a double-double. After missing 23 games, Young and the Hawks could not secure the win and were stung by the Hornets 115-114. Melina, Darian.
Thanks, Emily. It's National Pet Day today, Darian.
Yes, it is, and I'm excited to celebrate with my little pooch later. And we are next going to talk about how OU Nightly is celebrating.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
What's wrong, mijo? Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Is it time yet? It's time. Pumpkin and chocolate dinner.
Oh, it's terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
I'm Kamarion Brown with an update on the search for a missing Pottawatomie County teenager. The Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Office confirmed to us today that Hannah Contreras was found safe. The Sheriff's Office first put out the call for help to find the 16-year-old after she was last seen in Shawnee on Tuesday. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Darian, Melina.
Thanks, Kamarion. And it's National Pet Day today, and we are definitely celebrating here at OU Nightly. We do Pet of the Week every Tuesday to showcase available animals at Norman Animal Welfare. And one of our own adopted adorable lady, as you can see here, and giving her a new home.
And here's some of our crew's very own furry friends, each of them well-loved and impossibly cute. We hope you're celebrating this possum holiday, and if you're looking for a new pet, there are still plenty available at Norman Animal Welfare.
It's so cute to see everyone's pets on the screen today and just celebrating this national holiday.
Yes, it is. And now let's get right over to OU Nightly meteorologist Lauren Brand for a last look at our weather.
That's right, ladies. I will definitely be celebrating by giving my pooch some kisses later. But as for your Friday to close out the work week, we will be in those upper 70s. We'll be around 78 for that high. It will be a little bit breezy at times, but they will be switching out of the south, so it will be a little bit of a warmer wind. Now, for that 7-day forecast, we will be going into the weekend with those lower 80s and rising into the upper 80s by the time we hit Sunday. Now, Monday is going to be that severe weather day that we could see, but we're going to have more information on that as we get closer.
Thanks, Lauren, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Darian Curry. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.